Hello everyone, Melon Gaming here. Today we're going to be looking at the unused and scrapped and stuff that changed in Connies Mansion. Since I've been working on Connies Mansion for so long, ever since early access, things have changed quite a bit actually from the final product. This used to look a little different than it does now, and that's what we're going to be going over in this video. If y'all would like to see more of this, just let me know. And let's get started. So what we're about to look at is an early test map for Connies Mansion. This is old. This is like the first thing about Connies Mansion I've ever made before I even made the level design. So this is pretty old. Let's have a look, shall we? If you notice, there's no health bar. That's because before Connies Mansion was laid in development, I didn't have a health bar yet. So later you would just instantly die. As you can see, there's a cube here. This cube here was to test the blowing and sucking mechanic. I remember when I made this. Something you might also notice is that the ghost range is a lot lower. So yeah, in the final game, I stretched out the trigger zone, but it used to be a lot lower, so it used to be harder to suck it up. Connies Mansion used to be a lot harder than the final game. The final game turned out to be a lot easier than what I planned. But originally, you were supposed to get really close to sucking up. This was changed because I remember a lot of people complaining about it being way too difficult. So I changed it. So on this part in the final game where you pick up the vacuum, tips pop up, right? This was changed in the older version of this game. The text used to happen while you're defeating enemies or ghosts inside the actual living room level itself. Here, let me show you. See? This is different from the final game. In the final game, you like you saw, when you pick up the vacuum, it gives you the tips. But in this early version, it just shows up when you're fighting ghosts. I might as well show you this. In this version, there's no health bar, remember? So when you die... Oh, hold on. Hold on. It's a little glitchy. When you die, it just ends the level. This was changed later because people kept complaining about it being way too difficult with one hit. This was originally planned to be in the game, but I added a health bar later to make it less of a pain. So yeah, Connies Mansion used to be a lot more difficult than it is in the final game. So now let's get into some interesting stuff. So yeah, what you're looking at is an early version of the first boss fight. As you can see, there are two blue ghosts that spawn beside the fire ghosts instead of two fire ghosts in the final game. So yeah, this is different. Also, I went ahead and recorded this while editing, so it sounds better because there's a lot of loud music and it makes it harder for you to hear. So yeah, this is different. This is me trying to demonstrate. So yeah, I changed this because it was way too difficult. It was too hard for people to do this. Plus, you had no health bar. Also, there's no doormat on the left with that door. So yeah, it was a lot easier to die in this build. Okay, let's move on. Interesting though, huh? Alright, we're gonna look at a version from October 9th of 2019. October 9th, 2019. That's a year. The first one was October 3rd, 2019, but we're not going to look at the first one. We're going to look at the third one. Let's go. Something you might notice straight off the bat is that the light is lighter. As in, there's more light than there is in the final version. the final version of the game, it's a lot darker. The brightness is a lot lower. In this version, it's a lot lighter and it's not as dark. Also, when you go to this door, notice something? Take a look at the text closely. Do you notice anything new about the text? I'll tell you. In this version of the game, this really old version, the text saying locked is only white. Only white text. In the final version of the game, there's a black overlay that the white text is on top of. So, yeah, that is different. Now, we're going to look at something that's completely different from the final version. Are you ready? Let's take a look. I'm going to warn you, this is a really unfinished build. And I mean a super unfinished build. So yeah, let's go. Whoa! Okay, we just have a lonely key out in the distance. Yes, as you can see, in this version, there is no furniture yet. Connies Mansion has changed so much back when I first made it. Just take a look how different it used to be. I know I was still working on it, and I was pretty much still testing mechanics, but yes, this room used to be completely empty. So if we take the key, there's actually a bug that happens when you take the key. The wall disappeared. I was pretty new to Dream, so I didn't really know why the wall disappeared. But I think I fixed that in a later build. But let's see. This seems similar as usual. Whoa! Yeah, there was in this version of the game, there's a glitch where I remember this glitch. I kept on teleporting randomly. It's a glitch in Dreams from back then. Of course, in later builds, I figured it out, but jeez, Connies Mansion has evolved so much. Let's take a look at another build, shall we? Now we're going to look at another build of the game from the same date, October 9, 2019. So let's see if there's anything different in this build. Okay, the same brightness. It's still a little slightly brighter. Still has the early text. Let's see if there's anything else noticeable in the hallway. Alright. So here's another early version of the hallway. As you can see, it looks completely different. Now it just doesn't just have a key in the middle of the floor, but it doesn't have a bunch of furniture like in the final game. As you can see, it's a lot emptier. It only has a lonely door with a painting and a window over here. This is completely different than the final game. Let's see what's inside and what's different, shall we? Oh, I don't know if you noticed. In the final version, there's an X icon that appears on the bottom of the screen. That's not present in this version. Jeez, Connies Mansion used to be so different. Let's go inside and see if there's any differences. Whoa. There's no dresser in this version. There's no music box either. The only thing in this version is the lamp, the key, and the bed, and the bedside table. So yeah. Something else you might notice, there's still the X icon like in the final game, so that hasn't changed. But when I press on it, there's no text. In the full game, there's text on the bottom of the screen saying you have unlocked the living room. But in this version, when you pick up the key, nothing shows up. You just have to guess where to put it. This was changed. I changed it to make it so it's more obvious where you're supposed to go. So yeah. Let's see what happens when we go back to the foyer in this build, shall we? Whoa! Okay. It doesn't have a rug. So the vacuum is just there alone. Okay, there's no tutorial in this for build. Oh, and the living room hasn't been made yet. And then, so yeah, in a later build though, it would take you to the living room with the early tutorial text I showed you earlier. Okay, there are a lot more early builds in this game because it's been took a really long time for me to finish it. We're not gonna look through all of them, but I thought it was very interesting though for the ones you did get to see. So let's move on to some really cool stuff. Look at this menu. Doesn't this menu look different? And no, your eyes aren't deceiving you. This build was from January 3rd of 2020, and what you're seeing is an unused and scrapped multiplayer build. This is actually accessible if you go snooping in the versions and releases, because I actually scrapped it. So this multiplayer mode is left unused, but let's see what it would have been like. So yes, this multiplayer mode was scrapped because I felt like it was not what I thought it would be, and it was a little buggy and way too glitchy for me, so I scrapped it. Let's go. Whoa! Alright, so I'm not going to be playing with someone else just because I don't have another controller to play with, but I'm going to be showing you what it would be like. So you would originally have a bunch of waves of ghosts. Then you would suck them up and clear the floor. So yes, this is an unused mode. This is not in the final version of the game. This was unused for multiple reasons. I felt the multiplayer was way too glitchy. So this is now unused. But if you go, like I said though, if you go to an older version, this is accessible if you look deep enough. So yes, so yeah. This is a really version. So yeah. So I am kind of sad though that I scrapped this idea. But I feel like it was for the best though. This multiplayer is really buggy. So I went ahead and just left it unused. So yeah, this multiplayer mode is now unused. But yeah, I might as well show you the rest of it. So this is actually multiplayer. So really I would have someone else controlling the blue guy. But I don't have anyone else right now, so I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, this is another reason that it's scrapped, because it only has like a few short floors. It only has like 3 floors, so yeah. I guess I'll show you all of this since it is unused, but this is what it was originally like with multiplayer. This multiplayer mode has a lot. I am kind of sad that I scrapped it, but in the end, I guess it makes sense. So yeah, that was an unused and scrapped multiplayer mode on Connies Mansion. Well, there are some other unused stuff, but I think I've gone over everything really cool and important. So yeah, Connies Mansion has evolved so much over the years. It's unreal. So yeah. I thought I would make this video since Halloween is like next month, and yeah. Plus, Connies Mansion has been being built for a very long time now, so I thought it would be a cool little celebration of how old this Connies Mansion is. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. If you found this interesting and you want to see more, leave this in the comments and maybe I'll do it on another game. If there's a specific game that I made that you want to see some unused and scrapped / early versions of, I might as well make a video of it. So thanks for watching and bye.